Welcome to the Best of the Left Activism Update. My name is Lauren, and I'm the activism czar at bestoftheleft.com. This past Netroots Nation conference featured Van Jones as keynote speaker. Van Jones, a green economy pioneer, uplifted the crowd by proposing a new and powerful game plan offered to restore hope, fix our democracy, and fight back against the ruthless Tea Party and their austerity measures that have hijacked the GOP. This election year, Jones offers us a chance to renew the American dream for everyone with his organized Rebuild the Dream platform. This can be found at rebuildthedream.com. This site asks for bottom-up, people-powered innovations to get the U.S. economy working for 100% of Americans and not just the top 1%. So where should we begin? Last week's show about the American education system indicated much work needs to be done to ensure all Americans have access to quality and affordable educational opportunities. Rebuild the Dream student loan activists Molly Catchpole and Colin Holtz have been hard at work finding new and creative ways to combat the GOP from attacking one of America's most vulnerable populations, students. Rebuild the Dream was behind many of the initiatives aimed at stopping the interest rates on subsidized Stafford loans from doubling this July 1st. This issue remains so important because the people who hold more than $1 trillion in student debt will be more than 1/3 of the electorate come 2016. Those in the millennial generation, young people between 18 to 30-ish, who have or will graduate with mountains of debt, will turn into 80 million voters. It is foolish not to think that young people's votes don't count. Senators need to know that letting rates double or cutting corners in other areas of social justice will have significant consequences. So now the argument over whether interest rates should stay low at 3.4% is not only about rate, but also how to pay for it. Here is a list of ways Senate Republicans have proposed to pay for keeping student loans at a low rate. See if you can spot a pattern. 1. Gut preventative health care programs. 2. Limit how many years students are eligible for loans, making college far more expensive for part-time students. 3. Force middle-class federal workers to pay more for their retirement. And 4. Scale back the number of folks using Medicaid. A generation is drowning in debt for having the audacity to get an education, and Congress is only willing to help if they can further the economic disparity for the poor and middle class. So as you can see, it is possible to win the argument, as in getting lower interest rates, but ultimately losing the battle because lower rates means the government earns less interest, prompting the Republican-led Congress to use this as reasoning to further additional cuts for average Americans. It's classic divide and conquer. The other day, President Obama spoke to a group of students at the White House and once again called for Congress to act. Democrats have proposed a bunch of perfectly reasonable ideas, including closing the giant tax loopholes for a handful of rich business owners. Republicans in Congress, on the other hand, balk at any proposal that asks big banks, the super rich, or even just regular old millionaires to pay 1 cent more. The GOP may be ruthless, but they are not stupid. If we show that voters know what they're up to, the chances of them striking a fair deal are greater. And if we can win them in the Senate, there's a good chance the House will follow. So here's what you can do. Please sign your name to Rebuild the Dream student loan petition. This can be found at our link at bit.ly/fairdealforstudents. So far, almost 48,000 people have signed. If Rebuild the Dream reaches their goal of 50,000 names, they will send the signatures to GOP leader Mitch McConnell's office. Please sign now for your future and your children's future. This has been a Best of the Left Activism Update. For more information about the links in this segment, please consult the show notes at bestoftheleft.com.